wrestling truth resides.
Oh, Kat nailed it, man. We promote shows all over the state of Maine. Limitless Wrestling for about 9 years. It'll be 9 years in September. Let's Wrestle since mid 2018, and just having a blast with it, man. We're doing stuff with Limitless Dojo. Of course, we're talking a little bit about the Vacation Land Cup coming up. Biggest swing we've ever taken at a venue. We're trying an arena once again at the Lewiston Coliseum. Historic place. I got to check out an MMA show there a couple weeks ago, and it's going to blow people's mind, I think, what the setup is.
We'll talk a little bit about VLC here. Big news, I think. Scotty 2 Hottie's return and Dango's return is big news, but I think one of the biggest things that's going on right now is Dijak is returning to Limitless Wrestling. If you can divulge a little bit, I don't know how much you are comfortable with sharing. When was that in the cards? When was the talk? Where was it like when you heard Dijak got released, you were immediately like, oh shit, let's see if I could do this? Or did you have any prior thought or notification that, hey, this is what's going on, and then you kind of set the wheels in motion? Or how did that come about? I'm curious.
I had no inkling going into it that a talent like Dijak is talented, and I don't know, the star caliber of someone like that, the potential in someone like that. I had no inkling that his contract was not going to be renewed. That was news to me, I think, when it was news to everybody else. But needless to say, we were sending out some messages pretty quickly. And, thankfully, we had worked with Dijak for a couple of years before he got signed. He was an instrumental part, I would say, of the first couple of years of Limitless Wrestling, and kind of getting our wheels in motion, having some big matches with the brand to just kind of establish us, and to be able to bring him back at this time. I mean, it's kind of crazy, the timing. It's the biggest show we've ever done. It's, and just, it's still crazy to me that he's not there, but he's about to prove a lot of people wrong, and about to have quite a run, I think, on the indies and worldwide, I would say. So to be able to have him on a show like this is crazy, but it was not official until the day of the last MPW show, the rental, and I was sitting outside on the fucking picnic table. I think Andy, you came up at that point as we were making it official right then. So
I didn't even know that, actually.
I think we announced it very soon after. We had posters going out the next day. Shout out Brian F. Pro, who hooks us up every time. But we were down in Lewiston postering the next day, getting it done. But
cool.
Man, it's cool. I'm excited, and I don't think it's going to be a one-shot appearance either with Dijak. I think you'll be seeing him around Limitless more, but it all starts at the Cup.
I know. I'm curious. That sparked another thought for me. What is it like to have talent like Dijak, MJF, guys that kind of had a really instrumental part of Limitless, and now they're doing huge things? I mean, Carmelo Hayes is a big one that we've been seeing a lot of lately.
Look at what Joe just got me today.
Nice.
How cool
this in today is fucking
how
insane.
Cool is that for you to kind of, I don't know if it's if you feel almost like you helped take the shot on them. I feel like guys, Carmelo Hayes, I feel like you I feel like he was around a lot, and he's a former Limitless champion. So it's like you took shot after shot, and now he's off doing these huge things. How cool is it for you to see guys like that?
I mean, I think we've just had such a privilege of working with some of the top tier athletes in the game, some people who really take it seriously and are dedicated, because you just can't get to that level without 110% just dedication to the craft and trying to do whatever you can to make it. And the guys you spoke of, MJF, Carmelo, Garcia, the list goes on and on of people that we've had the privilege to host here in the state of Maine. And I think it speaks to the future too of what people could be seeing on these cards, because you really never know where these folks are going to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years. Some people it takes off very quick, and for some it's a gradual, steady race, and sometimes going to be 15 years for your big break, and you just never know. But there's been a lot of just incredible people, incredible wrestlers who have come through, and it's been an honor to be able to work with them. And a lot of them in a long-term capacity too, which is really cool. And it's even cooler in a sense of like Dijak. You don't always get the chance to work with people again, and we have this window right now before, because I think he's someone who it's inevitable something big's going to happen with him, and he's going to end up on a nationally televised program again. But to be able to have this window of someone who, people, OGs who were here for the first couple of years, I got to see him come up, have some of his, first big matches, and now he's back, and who knows what's next for him. But it's really cool, man. It's great to be a part of.
On the topic of people in VLC, I mentioned both Scotty and Dango. Were they two names that when you decided you were taking, and I guess you could talk a little bit about that too. What made you decide that you were going to take the shot on this VLC to try out an arena? And when you did have that thought, when you did decide you were going to take that shot, were Scotty and Dango two names that kind of immediately came to your mind? Like, if I can make this work, these are two guys that I definitely want to give a spot to.
Yeah, definitely on the second part. I mean, the first part, it was really the timing just fell right. It was, we had this date booked out for Yarmouth. I think we talked on the Limitless pod about that, but there was, I would say at the beginning of the year, there was no plan to do an arena. We had a cold email from the Coliseum, which I honestly interpreted that it was going to be, maybe they wanted to do a wrestling night with a Nordiques game, kind of like they're doing in Portland. And that would have been sick, but it was more of, actually event coordinator, wrestling fan, WWE fabes them, and they want fucking wrestling in there. And we had a fan in the office. We had a fan locally who had pushed for it, and they took a chance on it. So it means a lot to us. And I think right now too, this is since the Cup of last year, actually, it feels like a stretch of, we've had sellouts, we've had great support. It feels like pre-pandemic a little bit, where we were rocking and rolling, and it really made sense to be able to, take a swing at a big arena show like this, because, this is, I don't remember when we signed the contract. I think it was March, and it's been a constant climb since then. And absolutely, Scotty Too Hottie, Dango, didn't know it was going to be in this capacity, one-on-one, but I wanted them to, be a part of that. I wanted I wanted it to be like a love letter to Maine wrestling, the biggest Maine wrestling event of all time. And it's not even just limited to them. I mean, we've got Luke Robinson from a town over in Auburn, who grew up, born and raised, still today with Wolfpack Fitness operating out of Auburn. He's stepping back inside the ring for one night only, and he's got, I'm not going to spoil it, but he's got some loose ends to tie up, and we'll just say that. So that's going to be an honor to host that. Mr. USA Tony Atlas, this is a Per Sessions exclusive.
Oh, let's go.
So he'll be doing a meet and greet, and I'm sure he'll find his way into some trouble that night too. But
that's awesome.
It's just gonna be fun, man. Dango and Scotty Too Hottie were 1 and 2 on my list. Dango's been incredible to work with. Of course, we had to pay off the Scotty Too Hottie impersonator after he beat the shit out of him in Herman. But things happen, and now we're on the road to a match that I didn't think we'd see in Limitless Wrestling or Maine Wrestling. We're slotted to have this as a tag match. Now it's 1-on-1, Dango versus Scotty Too Hottie.
At the last Limitless show, we saw Dango call out Scotty, which seemed like there was some personal business there. We also have another grudge match happening. So are we going to be tying up a lot of loose ends coming up in the VLC? Is that going to be a major theme that we might be seeing?
I don't know about major theme. I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, a lot of the matches aren't set yet, too, for the actual tournament matches. But I think the non-tournament matches, we've got a lot to settle here with Dango and Scotty Too Hottie. I think it's 2 generations of Maine wrestling, 2 generations of New England wrestling, really, because, Scotty Too Hottie, you may know him as Scott Taylor. Larry Huntley was going around trying to make sure everybody knew he was Skippy Taylor at one point at the last show, too. But, if you were, coming up in the 90s, he was kind of everywhere for a hot minute until he got signed with the WWE or WWF at the time. But, And then Dango, I mean, that was one that, people watched throughout the 2000s and rise to prominence, hold a WWE career for longer than most, 2 times the length of most, I would say. But to have, it's crazy, like, to be able to have them same show, same match, generations colliding. And they're still with 2 of the top organizations today. Dango's killing it weekly in TNA, Scotty 2 Hotty on the road with AEW right now. So, to somehow find a date that intertwines with the 2 of them, their busy schedules right now, to host this match on the biggest show yet, it's very cool. It's an honor to have them anytime. But, they've got a score to settle on Luke Robinson. Yeah. Has been eating at him for years. I mean, he does not do a lot of wrestling anymore. Very focused, very successful, too, with his Wolfpack fitness ventures. So to get him involved, it's a big deal. I mean, we haven't been able to work with him, I don't believe, since – I think it was the fundraiser we did for Mark Godfrey, actually, 2019.
I remember that.
He wrestled Mac Daniels that night. Fantastic match. I mean, he doesn't miss a beat, which is crazy. And he's in probably the best physical condition he's ever been in. So I'm excited for news to break on what that is, because I think it'll be pretty cool.
Just a quick question before we jump into the Thanksgiving promo. I think I got the right one, but you got tons of talent that come in through Limitless. Is there any particular one that you would like to see get a call up from either AEW or WWE?
All of them. I mean, everybody that we work with in some capacity, I believe in them and want them to succeed. And I think there's a lot on the Limitless roster you could see going there right now. I mean, Channing Thomas, world champ, he's traveling the country, killing it right now. Aaron Rourke, I think, is about to take off and have a huge fucking career. Gabby Forza in such a quick time, such a quick amount of time, is crazy. Like
my wife's favorite.
Yeah, my girlfriend's too.
Rightfully so.
My wife's a Buffa fan.
Buffa, that's a perfect one too. Buffa, I just think from a crowd connection standpoint, not many people have what he has. It's few and far between. So it's impressive to see. It's a laundry list of them, man. But yeah, I think a lot of them are, they're getting their reps. They're ready to be on TV, and just take somebody taking a chance on them.
I love talking about Buffa because I hit it off with him with the first show that you had him in. It was in, I want to say it was a Fatal 4-Way, and it was like BRG, Buffa, Ryan Mooney, and somebody else. I want to say, and then it was either like. It was a couple days later.
It was Mortar. Maybe Mortar.
I don't know. I can't remember. I just remember that a couple days later I was at the dojo, and I remember you asking me who stood out to me in that Fatal 4-Way, and I was like, well, they all were really good, but Buffa had like a connection. Like I was like, Buffa, you got to bring Buffa, but he had a connection, I could tell. And then you started booking him consistently, and now he's like, everybody's shit is Buffa, and I'm always like, I'm so glad that he kept coming back, because he's such a cool dude behind the scenes too. It's not just the persona when he walks through the curtain and then he's a dick backstage. He's a super good dude behind the scenes too. So I love Buffa all around.